Hello. This is your friendly neighborhood coloratura soprano turned broadcaster. It's nice to see you. So I'm just checking to see if this feed is going through before I feed you my brain droppings. So I'm trying to see if it's live or not. Does somebody want to tell me if it is? All right. Maybe it is. Yep. Here's one that's live. Yeah, there I am. Okay. I'm somewhere. That's the important thing. So, hi. If we haven't met yet, I'm Eden Castile. Eden like the garden of, right? So, yeah, because my parents like fun names like that. So, I'm here in beautiful Wakefield, Rhode Island, and I'm sitting in my studio, and as you can see, I've got like logos, right? So about, was it a year ago? Longer than that. Yeah, a year and a half ago, I did a few shows. Oh, Ryan says, hi, Ryan, thank you. I did a few shows up in Providence, and I called it the Eden Show. And so that was on top of my piano. And I really liked the logo, so I put it up. And because it's here, whenever I have a lesson or I talk to anybody online on Zoom, it's a reminder that I did that then, and I can do it again. So guess what we're going to talk about tonight? What to do when you don't know what to do next, right? So I keep this up as a kind of a reminder of something I did in the past that, back when we were all able to be together in the world. And I want to do it again. So every time I put it up, people ask about it. What's that? What's that? And so it forces me to talk about it. And that forces me to think about it and get it up in my head a little more. So that is something that I do when I'm trying to figure out kind of what to do next. So we're still in the month of January. It has already been a year and a month, right? Or a year and 2 weeks. My God. And I was on here a week ago talking about how the things that I say about, the things that I say about performing and about singing and making goals and everything apply to me as much as they apply to the people I work with. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm putting this up with gaffer tape because I don't have a really good thing to hold my phone up. So there. Ryan, I'm using gaffer tape. Every theater person in the world, I'm using frickin' gaffer tape. So, all right. There we go. Connolly, if you don't want to be it, you can leave my page. That's fine. So I'm talking to people who are doing music and talking to people who are creative tonight. So it's been 6 to 9 months. Hi, Stephen. And I had my students fill out this survey, and I've gotten a few more back in the past week. And I hear more depression in them, than I'd heard before. A lot of, I haven't picked up anything in months, and I don't know what to do. And I gave it as an option for the survey. Do you want me to give you a goal? And a lot of people wrote yes. Be careful what you ask for. So I love giving goals, and I hate receiving them. Do you like giving goals to people? And do they actually do what you ask them to do? Do you follow your own goals? Can you set goals and keep them? If you can, what makes them successful? And if you can't, why not? Is it because we set goals that are too lofty? We can't reach them? Is it because we don't lay out the steps for them? And so then we're kind of lost and we don't know where to begin? A little bit of both. So that's how it is for me. So one of the questions I get asked all the time is, what exercises should I do to get better? And it's like, okay, well then how should you run a 5K? How should you run a marathon? What exercises should I do? I kind of feel like it's the same kind of question. And it kind of depends on what the goal is. But then you got to think about a goal. So there's, well, my goal is to sing better. What kind of music? Right? So, we ask a bunch of questions, and then sometimes I get a straight answer. Most of the time I don't get a straight answer. I just get sing better. But then we can drill down and we can find some things that they really want to have happen, and we can get somewhere. But back to this, what to do when you don't know what to do next. Right now I get the sense from social media and everything else is that everybody's in a holding pattern, right? The whole world's in a holding pattern. We're definitely in a holding pattern until we have a change next week in Washington. We hope it's going to go safely and carefully. But musicians are in a real holding pattern, and we have been for almost a year now. And we've been trying a bunch of things around the edges. We moved onto online as best we could. We do home concerts. We get together safely outside when we can. We do everything we can. And for some, that's been a great change. And for others, it hasn't been. Or they've tried a little bit of it, didn't quite work out. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't feel confident in it. So I see a bunch of things. Yeah, exactly. I see a bunch of people writing, I haven't picked up my instrument in months. I haven't sung in a long time. My church choir is not performing. We did the virtual choir thing at Christmas, but now what? We don't have Christmas to look forward to. The high schools, well, we might get to do a digital show, but we don't quite know how that's going to work. So I get that sense that everybody feels like they're out of options. And so tonight I want to remind you, you're not. You don't know what to do next. There's always a next, even in this. And yeah, I go through periods of time where I get really kind of down about it too, and frustrated. And I wish that things could go back, or I wish that I had certain options available to me that I had enjoyed in the past. But we always have options, right? We are still very much first world, right? These are still very much first world problems that we've got as musicians and as creators and artists. So we have to use that creativity. We just have to keep using it. So right now, everybody's distracted. When you're distracted, you're not going to go anywhere near your goals, right? We are very distracted. There's so many shiny objects out there right now in the news and in social media, lots and lots. So you'd have to eliminate some of those distractions and devote a little bit of time every day to pursuing a goal. So that definitely helps. Let's see. It's really about just doing something. It's about not waiting, I think. I get this sense that we're all waiting. Some of the waiting, we have to do. We have to wait until it's our turn for the vaccine. And we have to wait until, there's a date on the calendar and we have a transfer of, power. We have to wait until our taxes are paid. We have to wait, until we get the diploma. There are definitely dates in the calendar that we have to wait for. But even within that waiting, there's still a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do. And sometimes waiting is an excuse. Does that hurt? I know I make it an excuse. That's why, even though I did this show over a year ago, I've been waiting and waiting, thinking somehow I'm going to have some magic inspiration that's going to make me want to do this show online. And either I'm going to decorate my living room really prettily so it looks like a set, or I'm going to find the perfect set of guests. I'm going to know exactly what to say to them. And that will make me want to do this show. None of that worked. And I kept waiting for it to fall. And then finally, a couple of nights ago, I asked a friend of mine, hey, do you just want to get online and just try, see if I make this work? And I said, I'm going to pretend to do an intro to a show that I've never created before. And she said, sure. And that was the first one. I stopped waiting. I just went ahead and did it. So, no, you can't see it. It's not ready yet. It'll be ready next week. So, basically, this banner is going to have a reason for being up here next week, and that makes me really happy and scared and terrified, right, that I'm finally moving forward with this. So, give yourself permission to take one little step forward. Stephen says, I sing in the shower and on the bus, and while walking in the car, I just sing or play. That's right. That's the absolutely right thing to do. When you don't know what to do next, do something that scares you a little bit, right? Something that doesn't depend on anybody else to make it work, right? Something that you can do just on your own. Even if you think, oh, that's so pitiful and it's nothing like what I did before, stop comparing. Just do what you can today, right? So it could be singing in the shower. And if you normally always sing Bruce Springsteen in the shower, I want you to sing Aretha Franklin. And if you always sing Aretha Franklin in the shower, I want you to sing Luciano Pavarotti. And if you always sing Luciano Pavarotti in the shower, I want you to sing Tiny Tim. So sing something that makes your partner come in and go, "What's that?" Okay. Something is very different. Uh, Either do what you do, but do it in a new way, or do something you haven't done before that you haven't done in a long time. Steal your kids' crayons and color. Or steal. Steal is a bad word. Borrow, right? Borrow. I may have done that. I have actually out on my kitchen counter a whole thing of blocks of paraffin wax because I was going to make candles with my stepdaughter like years ago for a birthday party. I thought that would be a really fun craft for candle making. And those blocks of wax have been following me around now for like, 5 or 6 years. I actually packed them to move into this house. I've never melted them or made candles. And then finally this week I went to Michael's and I bought the wicks and I bought some kind of smelly stuff to put in them. I'm going to make the dang candles. I have no idea how to be a candle maker. I think I can melt something on the stove, but it's just something that I've never done before, right? And it seemed like it wouldn't be too hard to do, but enough outside my zone. So guess what? Everybody's getting candles next year for Christmas. You're all getting candles, just tell you right now. So do what you do. Do it in a new way. When you don't know what to do next, do something in a new way or something that is new to you. It doesn't have to be good. It's probably better if it isn't good. It's probably better if you maybe even stink at it a little bit and you crash and burn a little bit. The stakes are so high out in the rest of the world that it's nice to have a little bit of controlled failure on something inside. Burn food. I can do that really well. Ask my husband. I can do that really well. So the point is that there are still opportunities wherever you are. Look what I learned how to do today. Look, I learned how to do banners on StreamYard. Go me, right? So I feel like a broadcaster. I took broadcasting in college. I almost flunked out. I didn't know how to write broadcast copy at all well. I think I got a D- in that class. But I now know how to do this. So thank you, Internet. If performing made you happy before and you are waiting for somebody to give you performing opportunities, stop waiting. Perform. Perform in your house. Perform for me or with me. I give you performing opportunities. You know I was going to get to that, right? Yeah, of course I am. If being in community made you happy and you liked performing because of the camaraderie, then be in community. And that means you suck it up and you get on Zoom, even though you don't like Zoom. And that means that you can turn off the camera on Zoom and you just listen to each other. And it's like a group phone call, but you're talking with each other. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone like this for Zoom and just turned off the camera and just listened to people? It's like having a party line, and it's really fun. There are also alternatives to Zoom that are better. So here, convenient segue. I'm doing a fun thing on Saturday night using Zoom as the video, but the audio is with something called cleanfeed. So among my music teacher friends, they're familiar with cleanfeed. See, there it is right there. And it is an audio program that lets you hear each other. So with Zoom, when you're online, it cuts off. You try to talk over somebody and it cuts the sound off. That's just why musicians cannot use Zoom for any kind of music making unless it's just one person performing and the rest are listening. But cleanfeed is a little bit easier to deal with and it gives you a few more options. So we will be using cleanfeed on Saturday night. So if you'd like, you can sign up at my website, EdenCastile.com. Do you think I have it up there enough? Right. So it's Saturday night at 6:30 p.m. and it'll last as long as it lasts. And I will be able to play for you right here. So I can play pretty much live for you on cleanfeed. It's dependent on some factors. If you're coming in from California, maybe a little bit tough. I won't be able to do a super rhythmic song. So if you want to do a Sousa March, we're in trouble. But if you want to do My Funny Valentine, I can definitely do that. I can play a lot of stuff where it doesn't matter if we're necessarily both on the beat. So if you hadn't heard of cleanfeed, then you should definitely sign up and come in and listen to other people use it, even if you don't sing anything. But I hope you'll sign up. So if you miss singing and you're looking for somebody to give you an opportunity, I'm giving you the opportunity on Saturday night. It's called Gig at Home with Eden. I will play and you can sing live. If you really want to sing with a karaoke track, you are more than welcome to, and I will use my 10 fingers to clap for you. So you can sign up at EdenCastile.com for that. That is an opportunity. I wish that somebody would give me these opportunities, right? I think that I see a few, music groups that are doing that. And I'm so glad they are. We need them, right? We need to be in community with each other, being able to support each other. And, you need to use the voice that you have, especially if you haven't used it in a while and you say, oh, I'm so rusty. I don't think I could do it. Get over here and do it, right? Start getting back in gear. Yes, we still probably have a period of time before you're going to be able to perform live in front of people again, right? I think we realize that. It is going to be still quite some time to go. But are you really going to shut down your musical life? Really? I don't want you to do that. You don't have to do that. Yeah, Rebecca down in Florida says, I'm doing a Valentine's Quarantunes Cabaret in my studio with 2 friends because I miss performing so much. Good for you, Rebecca. That is really, really good. Really, really good. So you're making those opportunities for yourself. And guess what? We should have been doing that before the pandemic. And we need to keep doing that for ourselves after the pandemic. There are lots of opportunities to perform when the world is normal, right? Community theater, regional theater, pro theater, music venues, open mics, coffee house, recitals, church gigs, farmers markets. I'm just thinking of the places where there's kind of, opportunities at different levels. Busking, right? There are lots of those opportunities. And all of those are kind of on ice right now. But if all you were doing was waiting for those to come back, you are missing some opportunities here. And why are you waiting for other people to give you permission to perform? Don't wait. You don't have to. You do not have to be a tech god in order to do online performing. You don't. You need to have whatever you're using to watch me right now is what you need in order to perform online. And the rest of it is guts and will. So I think you can do it. If you want to do it, I'm here to help you. So that's what the first thing is. Go gig at home with me on Saturday night. I'll do a few more of these afterwards, after this Saturday, but I hope you'll come to that one. And now let's see, what other banner did I make today? Let's see. I make another banner? Yeah, I did. The other big thing that's happening in my studio is this. It's called the Country Song Project. So we're going to write an album of country tunes. This is the 3rd album that my studio has done. The first one was called 6 Feet from Stardom, and that came out in June of 2020, and that was covers done by 13 students, and that's available on SoundCloud and also at EdenCastile.com. And then the second album is Holidays, which was an album of holiday tunes, which had 8 songs on it by 6 students. Was it 8 by 6? Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. It was so long ago. It was 4 weeks ago. So that album is available on Bandcamp. And we made videos with it and everything. So that was really fun. So this is the 3rd project, and this is a country song project. I don't like country music. It's writing songs. That's all it is. It's writing songs. But if you really hate country music, then no, don't come near this project, please. But if you do like country music, and most people like something about country music, then you might want to consider this. So you can participate from wherever you are in the U.S., Canada, anywhere, right? Mexico, why not? Right? If you can get online, you can do this project. You do need to have the ability to meet up with me, through Zoom or something equivalent. And it would be nice for you to know how to use this cleanfeed thing. So you see how that all kind of funnels in? Yeah. So yes, there needs to be a little bit of tech going on. You're going to get more out of it. Here's what you do. First, you're going to make a video of you singing a country song, and you're going to upload that. So all the directions are on my website, EdenCastile.com. I used a program called Video Ask, and I made a little intake video, and I tell you how to actually make your country video and send it to me. So sing me a song for 3 or 4 minutes, any country song you want. You can play along if you play guitar, if you play piano, if you play ukulele, if you play accordion, whatever. Or you can use karaoke if you'd rather do that. Okay? But basically, if you can do that, then I know, oh, you're brave enough probably to do the other steps, right? So you have the rest of January to do that. Upload that, and then I will be in touch with you after I get it, and I will do a little bit of an interview with you, kind of a conversation, and ask you about what you want to get out of it. What are your goals? Because we're going to have goals. We're going to have objectives, right? That's how we're going to make sure that you get to the end of this project. The project will last 3 months. Starting in February, we'll have workshops where you will work with some different professional songwriters. So I just was talking with a couple of them today in Nashville, and we have several lined up to work with you. And then all through February, you will be working with them and writing your songs with them and with me. Then in March, we start recording your demo track. I will create your demo track right here on that piano. Then in April, you will make your final recording, you'll make your video, and we will release in May. So that's the Cliff Notes version of what we do. But if you've never done anything like that before, and you've never written a song before, let alone appeared on an album, let alone record, let alone make a video, does that scare you? Hope so. Then you should come do this project. Because if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I could never do that, you should come do this project. And if you haven't picked up your guitar in 4 months and you haven't sung a note in 4 months, and oh, I'm just so out of shape, you should do this project. You need a shot in the arm and a shot in the arm. That's what I provide. And that's why I'm doing it too, because I need the project. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. So I don't know what kind of a song I'm going to write. I love country music. I like country rock. Can we call the Eagles country rock? Yeah, we probably can. I love Linda Ronstadt's, stuff into country. I love Dolly. I love Leanne Womack. I love Leanne Womack. I think she's great. So she's probably my favorite right now. So maybe I'll write something like hers. Yeah, Stephen, I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. I like them too. So I'm putting that intent out there. That's one of the things you can do, right? Declare your intent of what you're going to do. So I'm saying we are doing a country album and it is going to come out in May. I don't know exactly what date in May, but it's coming out in May. And I would love for you to be part of it if you would like to be part of it. So let's see. Some other things I should do. Other things you can do. Things I want to talk about with you. 22 minutes. We're doing great. All right. So other things that you can do kind of while you are trying to get your musical mojo back. And some of the things that I do, right? So if performing makes you happy, perform. If community makes you happy, find community wherever you can find it. If performing and community makes you happy, then I want to see you on Saturday night for my gig thing, and I'd like you to consider sending in an audition for the Country Song Project. If you hate Zoom, turn off the camera and make it audio only. If you write pop songs already and you're finding it to be a struggle to write more pop songs, then why don't you write an art song? Write a classical song, right? Write something, it sounds Irish or Scottish. Write a raga. Just do something very different than what you're already doing. It helps take you out of yourself. You won't compare it to your earlier work. And that goes for singing too. Sing something completely different. And then declare your intent publicly. Share it. Even share the crappy stuff, right? Just say, hey, I tried something new. You're going to get such credit for doing that. And you're going to feel so much better. Now, if you wait for your mojo to come back by doing the same things you were doing before, I think you're going to be disappointing yourself. And I think you're going to find that more frustrating. I'm trying to save you from frustration. All right. The other thing you can do, if you can't think of what to do next, is to crowdsource your music making. I'll put that first before the lists. So I've done this a couple of times really successfully, where I will ask people, and if you want, you can go ahead and write in here, what should I sing next? What would you love to hear me sing? And they tell me. And it's really crazy what they tell me. So then I take that list, standing on the corner, yep, in Winslow, Arizona. Yeah. So yeah, what Eagles song should I sing? Please say Desperado, because that's the one I know. Yeah, what a great idea to get out of self-criticism. Yeah, they can't criticize you if you're doing it for the first time, right? You didn't criticize yourself when you were 5 when you were learning how to ride the bike. So if you're learning how to do a piece of music never done before, give yourself a break. So crowdsource what you'd like to do next. Crowdsource your music making. Ask people, what would you like to hear me do or play? That way the pressure's off of you to come up with the perfect solution, right? And then actually go and do it. Don't reject their ideas. Make their day by learning that song. If I get 10 people telling me they want me to hear me sing Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, I will do it. I don't like that song. I'm sorry. I don't. I like the original. I don't like all the remakes. So I'll do it. All right. If you crowdsource me, I'll do it. Because it's a good practice for me to do it, even though I don't like it that much, right? But just, for one time. It's like eating my broccoli. No, everybody's mad at me now, right? So you can crowdsource it. The other thing I do is I start making lists. I make a lot of lists on Spotify, a lot of lists in my date book, random pieces of paper, a lot of typing of lists online, the notes app on my phone, and things like that. Lists of songs that I've heard that I like, lyrics that I like. And Spotify, I make a ton of lists for my students and also for myself, like, cabaret ideas or country ideas, songs I can do with my son, who's a bass player, duets, stuff for a show that I've been thinking about doing for the past 4 years, all kinds of things like that. And they just live there. So that way it doesn't have to stay in my brain. I don't have to keep it all up there. And then I can look at it periodically. Oh, I completely forgot about that song. What a great song. I wonder if I could do that. It has come in really handy. So I'm actually doing a gig in a couple of weeks. It's a pre-taped gig. And I don't get to perform in front of anybody, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm going to be filming at the Arctic Playhouse, the Cabaret Club series. And we're going to pre-film our show to make sure it's totally safe. So I have to learn a lot of music really fast. And so I found my list. So I thought I had like 3 months to get this together, and I've got 2 weeks. So I grabbed my list and I started putting that together as quickly as possible. But I'm so glad that I had that list there. I didn't have to dream up an entire show really fast because all of it was right there. So lists can really save you in a lot of ways. So you can make a list of songs that I don't think I could ever sing, songs that are way too high for me, songs that have, questionable humor, songs that don't express my worldview at all. Make a list, right? Make lists. It's fun. And it just gets you thinking a little bit differently, than how you had before. Or let somebody else give you the list. Have them share their favorite Spotify list with you or an iTunes list or something like that. So basically, there are still opportunities everywhere. You can sign up for the opportunities that I have at EdenCastile.com. Boy, that website's on there a lot. But I just want to encourage you and remind you that even in the midst of this really, really stressful time, you have options. You have resources, you have recourse, and you are a creative person. I know your creativity feels like it's taken a bit of a hit right now. Don't worry, all right? You can ask somebody else for help. You can ask people to give you a little bit of a sense of direction. You can ask me to take my foot and plant it on your behind to push you forward. I'll be happy to do that in a really professional musical way. Steven says, what is crowdsourcing? That's basically just asking your crowd to give you the ideas. So that way you don't have to go do all the research. Your friends can help you do that. It's amazing what they come up with. So ask your friends, what should I sing next? What should I play next? It's kind of like taking requests, but when you ask your friends who are not watching you perform right at that moment, they come up with some really interesting ideas. And many times they're very thoughtful. And they'll even say things like, I've always wanted to hear you sing this particular song. Would you please? And you realize you're making their year by doing it. So, be courageous enough to ask them and then do your best to actually fulfill the request if you can, right? It won't hurt. So yeah, songs you have to falsetto. That's a good list to make. And actually Spotify has some of these things already done, right? And iTunes as well. So, best falsetto songs. And then try to do them. So lists also make you feel like you have a sense of control over the future. Like if I plan this and I list it out, maybe it'll happen. Helps you stay organized. So, it's worth doing. It will help make you feel better, I think. It's the lack of planning and the lack of lists that makes us feel bad. It makes us feel, well, I have nothing to look forward to. And nothing's really going to change for the next 6 to 9 months, so what's the point? The point is that you are valuable and your artistry is valuable. And all you need is an invitation and some encouragement. That's what's missing. You used to get encouragement externally. And you got validation from the people you performed in front of and the venues where you got to play, whether they were big or small. You have to look a little bit further out for that now. It is still there. It is still there and waiting for you. So don't give up. Pick it up. Pick up the guitar, sing in the shower, sing in the car. It's going to be creaky. You're going to have to retune. Your fingers are going to be rusty. You're going to roll your eyes a lot at how bad it sounds. Do it anyway, right? Get back in gear and then publish that information. I sang in the shower today. It was terrible. Your family might hear you. But begin that process, what to do again, right? Begin that process again. Do not wait another 6 to 9 months to a year for the venues to come back and for people to invite you back to the places where you were before. I don't think we're going back to that. Not the way it was. It's a different world. And I don't want you to be really, really disappointed in 6 to 9 months because you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and you walk in and you get through that first exhilaration of, I'm here, I'm back. But then you realize you have all of the same issues that you had in February of 2020. So I'm not saying you have to make perfect use of this time, right? Nobody can do a pandemic perfectly. You're not expected to make a quality performance and make quality improvements just because you've had this downtime and you're going to use it really well. But I do want to encourage you that if you have stopped almost completely or completely, that you can restart. And that there are people who want to hear you, and people who want to work with you, and people who are valuing you right as you are. And they're looking forward to helping you get yourself back out there. Yeah, Stephen says video in the shower. Stephen is famous for that because he makes videos of himself talking to people in the shower. I'm not that brave, Stephen. I can't do one of these in the shower. So I'll leave that up to you. You can look him up. He's called the De-Stress Dojo. And they're very, very good. It's like that Ferris Bueller scene where he sits there, I recall Central Park and Fall. Yeah, he just sits there and talks to you in the shower. You almost feel like you're there. Yeah, don't drop the soap. Okay, so you're going to make some lists. You're going to crowdsource. You're going to hopefully come and see me on Saturday night. You're going to sign up at EdenCastile.com. You're going to think about submitting a video of you singing a country song for the country album. And you're going to know that there is somebody here who really wants to hear you and wants to hear you right now. I don't want to wait until I have to go see you in a noisy bar in a year. I would like to hear you right now. And I'm not the only one. Your voice matters. Your artistry matters. And I hope I get to see you soon. So cheer to you and yours. Stay safe. And I will see you soon. Good night.